Welcome, everyone, to our latest deep dive. Today, we're jumping into a really dynamic topic. Vietnam's tech scene is often called the Ascendant Tiger. And, well, the name kind of fits.
It really does. The numbers are quite something.
Yeah, I mean, ranked 55th globally,
Yeah.
5th in Southeast Asia, and the growth rate, an amazing 17.9% annually. That's pretty impressive.
It is.
So our mission today is to sort of unpack what's behind this surge. What are the key innovations, the unique factors, and importantly, what are the challenges they still face?
Right, the structural hurdles.
Exactly. And we got some interesting angles too, like how a super app is changing finance and this paradox with their talent pool.
Yeah, that's a fascinating point. You know, this isn't just happening by chance. Vietnam's consciously shifting gears, moving from manufacturing towards, well, services and innovation.
A deliberate pivot then.
Absolutely. The digital economy alone, I think it hit $23 billion back in 2022, and projections show it could reach nearly $45 billion by 2025. That's serious momentum.
Wow, almost doubling in just a few years. So beyond the big numbers, what are the real foundational pieces here? What makes Vietnam, like, uniquely ready for this tech boom right now?
Well, a huge factor is their demographics. You've got over 60% of the population under 35. The median age is around 32.
So very young.
Very young and very digitally native. They're not just consumers. They're really an innovation engine. They provide adaptable labor, and you get this incredibly fast feedback loop for new tech.
Again, smartphone usage is high too, right?
Oh, definitely. It hit 89% in 2023. They're eager adopters, and often they just leapfrog older technologies altogether.
So a young, connected population ready to go. But what about the government? With this kind of top-down transformation, what's their role? Are they helping things along or maybe creating some friction too?
No, they're definitely a key player, very proactive. They have this national digital transformation program aiming for 2025 targets, and they offer pretty significant incentives.
Like tax breaks.
Exactly. High-tech and digital firms can get preferential tax rates, like 10% corporate income tax, plus tax holidays for several years. It's a strategic push, providing stability and real encouragement.
Okay, so they're actively building the environment for this. It sounds less like just made in Vietnam and more like innovated in Vietnam.
Precisely. You see companies like FPT Corporation exporting over $1 billion in software services. Even VinFast, the EV maker, listing on NASDAQ. Those are big signals.
Yeah, global players emerging.
It shows they're generating globally competitive companies, not just assembling things.
Right. So we've got the foundations, young population, government support. Where are we seeing the biggest impact on daily life for people? Which tech areas are really changing things?
Fintech is absolutely exploding. It was valued around $21.5 billion in 2024, and a lot of that is down to these super apps, particularly Momo.
Ah, yes, the super app. Tell us more about that.
Well, it started as an e-wallet, but now it's this AI-powered financial hub with, I think, over 31 million users. It does everything, paying bills, microloans, even stock trading. Plus, it has this mini app platform with tons of other services integrated.
Wow, so for a lot of users, that's like their bank, their payment system, maybe even their investment platform, all in one app.
Pretty much. It's a classic leapfrogging scenario. It gives millions, especially those previously unbanked, access to sophisticated financial tools almost overnight. They skip the whole need for physical banks that took decades to build elsewhere.
That's transformative.
Yeah.
And e-commerce is big too, I assume.
Huge. Projected to hit nearly $240 billion by 2033. And social commerce, selling through platforms like TikTok and Zalo, that's a primary channel now.
Okay, so fintech and e-commerce are booming. What's next on the horizon? I heard something about AI ambitions.
Definitely. Vietnam aims to be one of the top 4 in ASEAN for AI research and application by 2030. Companies like VinAI, FPT Software, they're already building AI tools for healthcare, farming, finance, things like cancer detection, precision agriculture.
Pretty ambitious goals. But this brings us back to that talent question you mentioned earlier. Lots of IT grads, right? But is there a but?
Yes, and it's a critical paradox. You've got over 57,000 IT graduates every year, which sounds great. But estimates suggest only about 30% actually have the practical job-ready skills the industry needs.
Oh.
So there's a projected shortfall, maybe 150,000 to 200,000 IT workers needed by 2025 that they might not have. Plus, there's a lack of experienced, globally minded leaders to really scale these companies up. And, the risk of brain drain is always there.
So quantity is there, but maybe not always the specific quality or leadership experience needed for global competition.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about funding? Startups need fuel. How's the investment scene?
Well, venture capital has seen about $3.2 billion invested overall, mostly centered around Ho Chi Minh City. Early stage funding seems reasonably accessible, but there's another one of those quiet structural challenges, getting that late stage growth capital. Series C funding, Series D, and beyond. It's apparently exceedingly difficult to secure those larger rounds domestically.
A bottleneck later on.
Yeah.
So promising companies might hit a ceiling?
Exactly. They might stagnate or have to sell early rather than growing into major players. It potentially limits their ultimate impact.
Okay, so putting it all together.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway on Vietnam's Ascendant Tiger status?
Look, the journey from being primarily a manufacturing base to this innovation-focused economy, it's genuinely remarkable. You've got this young, eager population and a government that's really pushing it forward. But yeah, to truly reach its potential, it needs to tackle those two core issues.
Right, the skills gap paradox and the talent pool.
Getting those graduates truly industry-ready and developing leadership.
And that late-stage funding bottleneck, making sure the big successes can actually get the capital they need to keep growing.
So that leaves us, and you, with a final thought to consider. If Vietnam can manage to bridge these critical gaps, integrating policy, investment, and education reform more effectively, just how high could this ascendant tiger actually climb on the global tech stage? And maybe more broadly, what lessons does its journey hold for other emerging economies trying to make that same leap towards an innovation-driven future? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.